we have went through the forbidden window to find the forbidden door of All Elite Wrestling with the Wrestling Elite Alliance Wrestling. And I tell you this, I don't know where I'm at right now because I went through the forbidden door. But
how'd you go there? Did you just kick it
probably through
down?
Narnia. Probably if it was Justin, it's probably through Narnia. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. Casey, say your piece so I can hit the intro.
I just have a question. Got a question. Y'all think Kata Ibushi likes fries? Like, I don't know, from McDonald's? Because, I'll never know because somebody lied about him being at a door that is forbidden.
You were excited, huh? Made you watch that show for nothing. Welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, I mean always, he means always, she means always, they mean always, you mean always, an instant classic.
Danny Dog! Hi, Jake.
We will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
All right, what's going on, good people? Back at it again. AEW Forbidden Door review. I finally made it through the show. I'll be honest, AEW shows are kind of long, but if you watch it over the course of like 3 days, you actually can enjoy it a little bit.
I mean,
I'll be honest with y'all. Life hack. Y'all need to do that. Y'all need to listen to me. It's like watching wrestling without the commercials and skipping through and watching the stuff you want to watch. Y'all need to listen.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, DJ here. Justin is over there, and then Casey is at the bottom. I don't know if Adam's coming. He might talk about Forbidden Door or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know if we're doing like a full-fledged like review. I think we just kind of hitting the high spots, hitting the suicide dives. And the Spanish flies and stuff, and then we getting out of there. We ain't even gonna pin them. We hopping out. We out. We out there. We out. But anyway, AEW Forbidden Door. Quick overall thoughts. I don't want to go first, so let's go to Justin first, and then we'll go to Casey and see what he thought of the couple matches he watched.
Okay, so my overall thoughts on the show. I really enjoyed the show. It was a really good wrestling night. And I feel like, for people that watch the whole show, I feel like, there was something for everybody on this show. And, some people might have some disagreements and stuff, with what AEW is doing right now. But, like, even though with, like, all the card changes, with people going down with sicknesses and, getting injured and all that, it was still a good show. I mean, it wasn't the show that I was expecting, but, I mean, it was a solid show nonetheless.
I got to get Casey's thoughts on it.
And I thought the show was going to be so much longer than it was. It went about like 3 hours and 45 minutes, on the actual show. So that was less than what the All Out show. I mean, not All Out, Double or Nothing was. So
because you got double of the show, though. Come
on. This is true. This is very true. But no, I really enjoyed the show.
Let's see what Casey thinking. Let's see what Casey thinking over there. The chase. The not Chromally. That's all the jokes I got. Like I'm out of jokes now. Like that was it. That was the two. Casey, you can't talk if you muted, just so you know. Just gonna throw it out there.
That's the point.
Just gonna throw it out there. Just gonna throw it. You can catch it if you want, but I'm just gonna throw it out there that you can't talk if you muted. Just so y'all know. Anybody want to get into podcasting? If you muted, you can't talk.
You could talk, but they can't hear you.
I don't know. This man's so annoying.
I was busy doing something, and
I didn't know. Well, keep doing it. I'll get my thoughts then.
I didn't tell you I was ready, did I? Did I tell you I was ready?
I know you were still there. You were still there, so I thought we was good.
Man, don't. I clearly said I wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
It's not my fault.
Anyway, no, but I watched like matches, so like
Thoughts on the 3-match delight, or what?
what?
Thoughts on the 3-match delight? Is that that's what we're calling it?
What do you? I don't know what you're talking about.
Because you said you watched like 3 matches, so I was saying thoughts on the
I
3
watched
matches.
2 matches.
Oh, the 2-match.
They was good. They
2
was
match
good.
extravaganza.
You had the Orange Cassidy's, you know, and anytime you got the Orange Cassidy, you got a good match. And then I'm not gonna lie, I was let down by the AEWs to begin with, right? Because I was excited. Zack Sabre Jr. with Bryan Danielson. We didn't get that because the Bride D. I'm so used to D Bride. It's not D Bride no more. Anyway, he hurt, so he can wrestle, right? And then I was like, you know what? We gonna get Kyle O'Reilly. Oh, he hurt too. Never mind. And then I was like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Maybe it's gonna be Justin. I said maybe it's gonna be Justin. Maybe maybe he's just gonna hold a clinic hurting Justin in different ways. And I said, you know what? I pay for that. I would pay for that. I would pay the monies to see that. It wasn't that. It wasn't. It was Claudio Casseroli. That's right. Casserole has arrived, baby. But it was a good match. It was a good. I have thoughts on them signing everybody, but it's fine. You only got 3 shows and you can barely book those, but it's cool. Keep signing people. Keep going.
If you
Stop.
want to give your thoughts about that now, feel free, because I'm just going to give my overall thoughts real quick. So, do you want to give your thoughts on that now while you're on it?
It's annoying at this point. It's just annoying at this point. And like, I don't know if you saw how Tony Khan hugged him, like he was coming in to save AEW, and I'm like, dude, you brought how many names from WWE over, and you're still like at the same point you were a year ago. Like I really don't think, and not to say that AEW is doing bad, because it's not, but I mean, yes, you signed CM Punk, you got Daniel Bryan, you got Cesaro now, you got all these names that people love, but has it really has it skyrocketed you like you think it has? I don't think so. And
it's almost like
now we're seeing all these guys get injured, and I'm like, okay, when's Cesaro going to get injured?
It's my thing is, it's almost like, and I hate to say these 2 words because I know like it's almost frowned upon in the wrestling business at this point, but like they almost need like a brand split with so much talent that they have, just because like you can't, like they've signed so many people that you have to like literally, like I'm talking about, cut it off, like people come in, like you have Claudio and Danielson and Punk on one show, you have Page and Cole and whatever. I'm just throwing out random names at this point, like Moxley on the other show, and literally cut it off where they don't even really interact that much, because like that'll give you more opportunity to actually utilize these guys. That's the whole purpose behind the brand split to begin with, is it's supposed to be a way to get as many people out there as you can, because you have multiple shows. That's my biggest thing. Like I'm fine with them signing people, because I feel like it does make me feel like in my heart of hearts that AEW is doing something right in the wrestling business, because people want to sign with them. They can't be doing all wrong, because if they were doing all wrong, then these good professionals wouldn't want to work with them to begin with. So I think that's my biggest thing. My thought process is, well, maybe they should do like some sort of brand split or something to where they can actually utilize all the talent that they have. Because I would love to see Keith Lee, but I ain't seen him, right? I would love to see Swerve Scott. I know they're in a tag team, but I haven't seen them, right? Like I would love to see a lot of these guys that you've signed, and some of the new guys too. But I can't. But you can't fit but so many people in your 3 hours of television that you do each week on 2 different shows that you bring the same people on each week. That's my biggest issue. But overall thoughts on Forbidden Door for me, I thought it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was pretty good. Like I found myself genuinely enjoying the show. AEW and maybe and I don't know if it's because the fans are into it. The fans seem excited. They're marking out whatever. I don't know if that's what like causes me to enjoy the show a little bit more, to get into it, to take my
the crowd was so energetic during the whole show.
Yeah, the crowd was into it. Let's bring Adam in. The crowd was into it, so maybe I was more into it. I don't know, but sometimes like, especially a show like this, where you have like where maybe there's some crossover or something like that. Maybe that's what made this show fun, because I love freaking hearing. I don't know, and I should know it, but I don't. I'm being a bad wrestling fan here. I should know who the Ring of Honor ring announcer is, but I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Ian Riccaboni.
Yes, I love him so freaking much. He's a great ring announcer.
Tony, hire him. Get rid of excrement. Bring him and Caprice Coleman in.
He's freaking great.
Name is Excalibur, sir.
He's like that's my thing though. Like
that's what I said. I said excrement.
He's great. But I think at the same time, it was just like I hadn't heard the voice in so long, because Ring of Honor hasn't been doing anything for 6 months, almost 7 now. So I'm like, like it was cool to hear him back at it. He felt like he was, excited to be there. And then I felt like the fans did a good job of feeding off of all, all the different talent that came in. I think this is a cool idea for a show. It's the Worlds Collide show, or there was another name for this back in the 90s. I don't remember what it was, but there's been so many of these like Worlds Collide type shows, and it's fine. Don't overdo it, but I think it's a fun. It does have a fun premise. We want to see these guys go at it. I like that they defended different titles. We saw the IWGP titles being defended. We saw the Ring of Honor titles being defended, some of them at least, right? You didn't try to defend every single title that's included in every promotion to make the show 8 hours long, but you did do a good job.
Are we sure though
that they didn't defend every title, or
no? That I don't know. Like there's just way too many belts.
I mean, yes, they did.
Many belts.
They defended a lot of the titles, but I still felt like there was room. Like I still felt like they didn't defend every title on every promotion. Maybe because the show wasn't as long as whatever the heck the Double or Nothing was, or something. I don't know, but I mean, overall, I like
Double in Time.
Double in Time, yeah. Overall, I like the show. I thought it was good. I found myself genuinely enjoying it. I enjoyed a lot of the matches. There were some that I was kind of like but for the most part, I found myself actually enjoying the show. And I know, and I think that probably the first thing we talked about, since Casey already mentioned, his thoughts on Claudio Casseroli. I've already given my piece on this. I kind of want to hear Adam's thoughts though. But go ahead, Casey, because I see you got something on top of your head.
Speaking of titles, and I think I mentioned this in the chat. Okay, so Will Ospreay comes out for his match, and he is the current IWGP United States champion, and they announce him as the IWGP United States champion while he's wearing the Rev Pro title. I get it. Most of these fans know what Rev Pro is, but still, on a show that is branded by AEW and New Japan, and you wear the Rev Pro title, why?
And this is WrestleMania 9 all over again. Hey, Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. That might have been a good match. Who won the title? Hulk Hogan. What?
I was looking and I'm like, why is he wearing the Rev Pro title? It doesn't.
And why wouldn't Will push back on that. It's like no offense, I don't mind representing Rev Pro, but they're not part of this show. I don't know. That's as soon as you said that, I had to look it up. I'm like, oh dear God, he's right.
It didn't make any sense. I was like, come on.
Adam, did you have any thoughts on Claudio's? Casey had mentioned, kind of like, why are they signing all these people? They're not doing anything with them. And I was like, and my response was, maybe they need to do, for lack of a better term, a brand split, just to have an avenue to actually showcase all of the talent.
Well, and I think I mentioned that before. I mean, they have all this talent, and I will say that respectfully, because I know there is talent, even the guys that are on Evolution and Dark. But again, they have all this talent, and then amongst the ones that are heavily featured, they never do the rematches that people would love to see. But then you have something like WWE. Well, that's all they do is rematches. It's like we saw this last week, or we've seen this the last couple of weeks. I don't know about a brand split. Again, to me, just make both shows just a little bit more cohesive, or dare I say better. But just in terms of Claudio, I know that he had trademark CSRO or something to that regards. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like Cesaro, just wherever you go, whatever, if it be in, if Ring of Honor, if it was still its own thing, or whatever promotion, Impact, whatever, just be Claudio. Just be Claudio. Like yes, the indie darlings will, and the indie fans will remember him from the Ring of Honor days, but everybody knows that that's Cesaro. So to me, it's the best of both worlds. He's a star. He's built like a machine. If he is not champion within the next couple of years, there's something seriously wrong on it, because I mean, he's in phenomenal shape. He's not young anymore. I mean, he's not ancient, but like, to me, this is the time to utilize him, because he's credible, athletic, but strong as a bull. Like, to me, this is, guys, against your Hangmans, your Punks, your Omegas, whenever he comes back, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I didn't see the match. I just saw the clip because I knew that he had debuted, and that place went batshit. And yeah, I like that he's got the some of the older gear, with the kind of the long short trunks. I mean, again, he is such a star. He was so wasted in WWE. I mean, I liked the Bar. I mean, I did. I thought him and Sheamus were a really, really good tag team. But then just fizzled out. And they tried to kind of bring him back in a singles run, but it was
But they squashed him to Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Speaking of that, it just reminds me of what was it? Was it Chamber or Rumble? Where
it was Chamber.
Where we saw, you don't even know what I'm gonna say yet, and you already think you know what I'm gonna say. Where you might know what I'm saying,
sir. It was Saudi Arabia.
So it was him and Daniel Bryan. They faced off, and I was like, how have we not gotten this feud yet in WWE? So if they don't do that feud at some point, like immediately, when Bryan comes back, of course, I will boycott. I will be frustrated and mad and upset. This is the time. Now is, well, not now because he's injured, but you know what I mean. Now is the time. Now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But by the way, that match. By the way, in that match, why didn't you use that for a tease? Like, it could have been Cesaro versus, I can't even remember who all was in that match, but have one of those guys start off with a different person, and then the match goes on. Then they kind of have the Rumble spot where they lock in, and you let the crowd say, "Oh shit!" To your point, DJ, like, why have we never gotten this? And let them battle it out. And that could have possibly led to something, but I don't know. I'm not a booker.
Yeah, I mean, because fans pop for that type of stuff. Like, freaking, even just seeing AJ Styles and Bobby Roode in the WWE ring was like, Oh my freaking gosh! Yes!
And then they killed it. And then they killed it.
Yeah. They did the WWE. So let's just start here. I'm gonna. What was your letdown match of the night? Let's start on a negative note. Letdown match of the night for me. Probably the first match with the Jericho Appreciation Society. It was good, but I'm tired of Jericho being in groups and literally the same groups and taking out two
And
people
I'm
and
getting
being like,
sick.
oh, they're different.
And I'm getting sick and tired of him trying to trademark like every little thing.
He's a wizard.
And it's like, what does that even mean?
He throws fireballs in people's faces.
It's okay, but you're dressed up like somebody trying to imitate Skid Row. No, you look like a creepy uncle with hair plugs. Just you're Chris Jericho. Stop doing the GFY and whatever else. And at least when he reinvented himself in the past, he let things breathe a little bit. Every 2 weeks, Chris Jericho has put a trademark in sports entertainer. What? I don't know, but to be full disclosure too, I did not watch this show because I'm partially disgusted with the business right now. I just seen some little blurbs, here and there. So I really can't add much to the show other than, yay, Claudio's in AEW.
I feel like one of the funner parts of this show was hearing like not only the Ring of Honor ring announcer, but Justin Roberts be like, okay, and then the freaking Japanese, which I think I did the Japanese announcer. And anyway, hearing the Japanese announcer just get so hype over
Okada
or saying the
Kazuchika.
that was so fun.
Well, they say it the other way. They don't. Yeah.
They kind of go Espanolish.
Yeah, they do.
It was funny. Justin, you want to give a letdown match?
I'll say my letdown match was the IWGP Fatal 4-Way match for the world title with Adam Cole, Jay White, Hangman, and who else was in there? Okada. Yeah, that was my letdown because like this for the that match felt really predictable. And like the way the match ended was this very odd.
Terrible.
With Jay White just hitting the Blade Runner and then pinning Adam Cole, which I kind of have a feeling what they're trying to lead to, but it just seemed very anticlimactic. And even commentary, JR goes like, "Well, that was a terrible ending," but he goes like, "Well, I understand why." He goes like, "I understand why Jay White had to do that."
Adam Cole had time to fix his hair in the corner, and then he got rolled over and got pinned.
I just don't say. And JR's commentary, being like he doesn't give a shit anymore. What he says, it's fun. It is hilarious what he says. Like I love Grumpy JR.
As we all.
I feel like one of my favorite matches. I really did like Pac, Clark Connors, Miro, and Malachi Black because you really didn't feel like you knew who could win. Because I mean, Malachi's legit, Miro's legit, Pac's legit. I was so happy that Pac won this match. I think that's why I like the match so much. I was so happy he won that match.
Amen. By the way, I have to share a song for you guys about Malachi Black. Just FYI, Casey has heard it, and it's tremendous. Just anyway, continue.
But I think my favorite match was probably Claudio and Zack Sabre, just because watching, like, I don't get to watch Zack Sabre Jr. as much as I would like to watch him. So when I do, I feel like it's a real treat. Did he ever have that match with Kyle O'Reilly and Casey? Adam, anybody? Needs to happen.
Who's that?
First things first. I think Casey was talking. I was asking if Zack Sabre Jr. had his match with Kyle O'Reilly, but I think that was Casey saying that should happen. And yes,
that should happen. That should happen. But yeah, I don't know if that ever did or not.
Yeah, that him and Claudio was really really good, really fun. I think I was a little let down by Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm a little bit. I don't know what it was.
I thought it was a decent match, but I feel like Tony Storm, she was looking a little nervous. I mean, this was probably one of her biggest matches that she's ever been in, and like she's this coming off of a win over like Britt Baker and stuff. I think this women's match was better than like the women's matches that Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker were having. Some of the gimmicky stuff that they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Thunder Rosa, like she's kind of like the new. I'm not Thunder Rosa, sorry. Tony Storm, she's kind of like the new kid on the block, So I feel like eventually they need to, pull the trigger and give her the title.
Yep. Justin, what was your favorite match of the night?
My favorite match of the night.
We know Casey's was a combination of Orange Cassidy going against Zack Sabre Jr. We know like he made that match in his head. He watched it in his head, and it was great to him. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the Zack Sabre and Claudio match. I think that was my favorite match.
Okay. Justin, did you want to say anything else about anything else?
Also, I kind of want to talk about the 6-man tag team match with the dudes with attitudes and the Bullet Club. So, Sting, he worked really good in this match. What are you doing down there, Casey? Shut up, Chase.
I'm watching Orange Cassidy versus Zack Sabre Jr. in my head.
Okay.
In the Tokyo Dome.
In the Tokyo Dome. Yeah. No, but
20 stars.
when Sting came out, when he was doing his entrance, when it showed him on the catwalk, I go like, "Oh, please don't let him come down from the rafters." Because we don't want another incident like that. No, we don't need another own heart incident. No, we don't need that. But yeah, I feel like Sting, he worked really good in that match. He was working better than the Young Bucks, and like it was like more with like the facial expressions that he was doing, and like the kind of like the over being like more like a Hulk Hogan type, kind of like not selling moves that well. Like he wasn't selling much. He ate a whole bunch of super kicks in that match, and he's basically like hulking up and stuff. And I just love what Sting was doing. And El Phantasmo in that match was looking good. It was nice seeing him. I thought that was a really good match.
Okay. You guys got any final thoughts on Forbidden Door, AEW in general? Anything. I don't have a song. I was gonna sing, but I don't have a song.
Did Sting do his little turn on the catwalk? Catwalk.
I was waiting for
y'all too young to get the reference.
I was
must
waiting for Joker Sting.
Joker Sting.
It's from I'm Too Sexy, the song.
Oh,
two of the worst.
And so with the Claudio, with him debuting, I thought it was really cool. But with them putting him a part of the Blackpool Combat Club, they already have Moxley in there. He's a big main eventer. They already have Danielson in there. He's a main eventer, and then Claudio, he's up there also. So I feel like they should have went with someone like a younger talent, more like I don't know, because I heard some rumors about like Jonathan Gresham showing up, and I think that would be great because they already have Ring of Honor and stuff. Like, why not bring him in? Because he's a really good technical wrestler. And he could fit really good in the Blackpool Combat Club, or maybe like Timothy Thatcher, somebody like that, like more like a younger person to help like elevate. Because you already have Wheeler, Sierra Mel, yeah, exactly. You already have Wheeler Yuta in the group, which he's kind of. Go ahead.
Excuse me. The correct name is Wheeler Useless.
Wheeler Useless. That's funny. But I just wonder where Claudio's gonna go like here in 6 months. Is he? Hopefully he does more than what he did in WWE. But is he just gonna get like when they bring in somebody new from so and so. What's that?
He's going to go into the shuffle and get lost.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
And
gonna go in. He's gonna start a Italian pasta show. It's gonna happen.
Although, I
Claudio
will say that match was almost the worst match of the night. Not gonna lie, when it opened up with his finisher, I was like, no.
I felt the same way.
I was like, if you end it this quick, I'd be so pissed.
What happened?
They opened the match with what does he call it? The
neutralizer.
The neutralizer.
Yeah.
And I was so mad. I was like, if you have this be a squash match,
But like I said, I just kind of wondered, like, if is he gonna get lost in the shuffle like everybody else? Because like we expected Adam Cole to be like pushed to the very top, win the AEW title right at the beginning. But he's people complain about him being too small and stuff. And
won the title.
This is true. But yeah, I just wonder what's going to happen. Like, and hopefully he does more than he did in WWE, because like he was wasted. I mean, there are a lot of guys that are wasted in WWE.
He was too Swiss.
And I also like how when somebody goes down in AEW, like you have a replacement like right away. Like you can replace them, which I kind of like that.
Too Swiss.
Hold on.
Too Swiss.
Too Swiss.
Can they make a parody of the Bullet Club and it be Too Swiss?
Bullet Swiss.
But
also FTR, that was fun seeing them win the IWGP championships. That was pretty cool.
I saw people say 7 stars, blah blah blah, which I can believe that because they're the best tag team in the world right now. Gotta look at the highlights.
And also, I feel like they would have gave the title to Hiroshi Tanahashi, but I kind of understand why they don't want to have him over here in the United States, but or like maybe he might not. What's that?
I was just saying that his theme song, "Go Ace, Go Ace."
But yeah, I thought that match was really good, but like that, it kind of seemed a little predictable. Like John Mox is going to win, but like they should have, since they gave AEW the IWGP titles, the tag team titles, I feel like they should have gave New Japan something in return, like the AEW title, because since they're doing this like whole show.
But they can give them the RevPro title.
that's funny. That's funny that you think that AEW would put themselves below anyone. You remember when they had that deal with TNA and they never put over TNA at all because.
And the reason why I thought that Hiroshi was.
Remember when the Radicals came to the WWF and they all got beat within like 6 seconds?
But the reason why I thought that Hiroshi was going to win, because the original match was supposed to be Punk versus Hiroshi at the show. So like you know what, maybe have Hiroshi Tanahashi win the title, and then when Punk gets better, they could still do that match, and it'd be for the AEW title. I thought that would have been a great way to do that, but I'm not booking AEW, but hey,
good.
All right. Yep. Go ahead, Casey.
I was just gonna say, but before we tune out, I have to share something with all you guys and all the fans of the podcast.
I've been preparing for this since I saw you upload the video to the thing.
Listen, I've been working on a new intro for.
I can't stand you already. Like,
do you want to see it?
Could this be about a certain facial part of the male frame?
Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that
had a beard and nipples.
We're gonna play that again. Hold on. Hold on. We gotta play that again.
Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that
had a beard and nipples. What?
As always, I mean always, beard and nipples.
I can't express my hatred.
I mean, there's 3 guys that have beards and 3 guys that have nipples.
I just wish I would have never said it.
One guy has
What drove you to say these words, kind sir?
So basically, I'm not going to say them again because Casey will use them again. So,
welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that
had a beard and nipples. I'll just tell you afterwards. I can't take it anymore. Anyway, I feel like I need to probably clear that up on record. But anyway, just gonna leave that with no context. As always, hope you guys enjoyed. You can watch us, listen to us, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Anchor, all that good stuff. But we'll see you.
Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that
had a beard and nipples.
I love